Red light about to come on now. Red light is on. We get underway and a few people struggle away from the line. Jay King, an absolutely brilliant start up into second place from what, sixth place so far. A great start from Jamie King going into the chicane for the first time. Everyone does make it around at least the first chicane cleanly. Throughout the rest of the lap, it's all hell for leather really.
Josh Watley got a terrible start. He launched the front end, just picked up, obviously just.
Hello, my name's Jamie King. Last couple of months I've had people commenting on my Twitter and Instagram account asking they want to get into pit bike racing, but they don't really know on bike where to go, tracks, parts to buy, the rules, things like that. So I'm just going to do a few videos that hopefully help you guys out in getting set up to go riding your bike on track days, or even maybe going racing. I'm going to start with the first episode about the bike, because what you're going to need first before you hit the track is you're going to need a bike, and things you need to buy and do to get started. We start off by talking about frame size. The two most popular frame sizes are 50 and 70. This is the 70 style frame. It's the biggest of the pit bike frames you can get. There is one bigger called an RFZ, which quite a few people use, but like I said, most popular the CRF 70 size frame and CRF 50. CRF 50 obviously being the smaller frame. I've ridden both. I find the 50, it's a lot better round tight and twisty, but round faster swooping corners I don't think it handles as well. I've had this bike in the 10 years I've been riding pit bikes, and it's my armchair now. It handles spot on for myself, but frames, it really is down to rider preference, and if you get the chance to ride both, you'll find out roughly which one's better for you. What you need to upgrade, what is the best things to buy really. And first few years I was racing pit bikes, I started off by just running the standard Chinese caliper, brake lines and master cylinder, and they do a good job. They're not terrible, but they do a good job. But once you start getting a bit faster, you're going to want something a bit better, and what most people use is the Brembo caliper. It's off a Yamaha 125 or a KTM 125. Modifying is needed to be done. You need to make spaces up and drill holes in the bracket to get it to fit the brake disc. Brake line, got Hell brake lines. Master cylinder is a Nissan, so everything's upgraded and it stops on the dot now. And especially when you think of pit bike, the maximum speed you're coming from is 65 miles an hour, so it's not very quick, and the engine braking is a lot on a pit bike, so braking isn't that important. Like I said, you can get away by just using the cheap Chinese stuff, but when you want to get closer to the front, it is probably better to upgrade, and it doesn't cost a great deal to do this. You find a lot of Brembo calipers from Yamaha and KTMs on eBay. Decent brake pads is a must. Don't go on eBay and buy the cheap $7.99 brake pads. Go out, spend a bit of money, 20 quid, and get yourself a good set of EBC brake pads. It'll make the world of difference. Next up, engine. Pit Bike 140 engine, Chinese. They're 250 quid brand new. So you get what you pay for. But there are a few things you can do just to make them last a bit longer, but you're still within the rules of racing. If you're thinking of going racing or just doing track days and you just want an engine that's going to last as long as it possibly can. First thing up, if you're going racing, you're going to want a Z40 cam. A lot of people say don't make that much of a difference. I've ridden with engines with them and without them, and I can't say I really notice a difference, but if you got it, then bonus. If you haven't, I'm not going to say it's going to make you a slower or faster rider, but some people say they do make a difference and some people don't. Personal preference. My engine has got it, so there you go, use it. Next thing, light and flywheel. It's nothing to do with speed really. I doubt it makes your bike any quicker. I might be wrong, but it's generally because the engines can't handle the bigger flywheels. I've found this out myself. If you run the standard big flywheel, it will come flying out the case. It will snap the crank and come flying out of the casing, and it will go down the track like a bowling ball basically. It flew out and it was going down past me down the straight. So yeah, and that's it, engine gone then. So if you buy an engine that hasn't got the light and flywheel, that's the first thing you need to change, because you've got a ticking time bomb on your hands if you don't change it. I will take the cover off in a second and show you what a light and flywheel looks like, so if you do go to buy a bike, you know what to look out for. Next up, carb. Two sorts of carbs really. Once again, some people say do and don't make a difference. If you buy an engine brand new standard with a carb, you'll get a carb called a malt carb, which you can bang on straight on a pit bike and it will run fine. You might not get the most out of your engine what you can, but if you want to upgrade, you can get a Mikuni carb, which is what I've fitted here. You might need a bit of setting up. A lot of people complain they can't put it straight on the bike, they'll have problems not revving right, not running right, but lucky enough when I bought this bike it was on there, it sat up, run lovely. I've had a few meetings where it hasn't had to run well, I've had to muck about with the air mixture screw, but apart from that it's always run spot on. As long as you clean it out regularly, brake cleaner, compressor, airline, you should be fine. I run without an air filter, just run the trumpet. I've never had a problem. Obviously if it rains you might want to change that, but apart from that, runs lovely. Engine maintenance, if it's running nice, check your valve clearances regular. I normally change the oil in my engine every 2 race meetings. Use the best oil you can. At the end of the day, it's a cheap engine, and look after it. If you're going to buy Tesco value oil, I don't know if it's going to last longer or not, but use your good oils, use your Castrol and things like that, and make the life of your engine better. So yeah, that's pretty much all about the engines really and what to do. Next up we're going to talk about tyres. PMTs, this is pretty much what everyone runs at race meetings. We'll start off with what's on my bike. We've got PMT S's. This is the hardest compound they sell, but don't be put off. They're still extremely soft tyres. I generally, from brand new, I can get about 3 race meetings, 4 maybe, and a few track days to a push. Great tyres. If you're just starting out, I would look on Facebook pages, eBay, look for scrubs. You're just starting, you're not going to need ultra sticky tyres just to learn your way around the bike. So save yourself a bit of money, look on eBay, look on Facebook for sale pages, and get some scrubs. They'll be perfectly good enough for what you want. So S's, majority of people run these in the summer rounds. Next up we'll talk about SS's, obviously says on here. Used for winter rounds, colder race meetings. They are slightly softer than the S's. Great tyre, you'll just get that little bit more grip. Obviously you're not going to get the life of what you would get out of an S. Obviously it's down to personal preference of how much how much use you're going to get out of these and when you think they're knackered, really. So yeah, these are the two compounds you can get. Next up, we got the wet tyres, PMTs again. These are an R compound, which you can also get in a slick and an intermediate that we'll talk about in a second, but these are the wets. Obviously you can see the grooves to disperse the water. These are absolutely brilliant. You get so much grip in the wet from these, it is unbelievable. You'll come back in from a wet session and these tyres are like chewing gum. They are so grippy. They are really good. So yeah, definitely these are the wets to choose. PMTs in any compound are the best to get. Like I said, you can get PMT intermediates as well. They're called Blackfriars. Next season I am planning to get another set of wheels so I can have 3 sets for wet, dry and the in-between conditions, so damp, because these do rip up as soon as there is any sort of dryness to the circuit. So next year, it might sound stupid, but I'm going to buy another set of wheels and tyres to try and save money, just because I'm wrecking these whenever the track starts to get a bit dry. So they're all the compounds you need to know about tyres. The prices for wets, you're looking about 165. For a set of SS's or S's, you're looking around 145. And like I said, it's down to personal preference on the life you get out of them. But like I said, I get about 4 race meetings out of a set of S's. But I would advise, go on the internet and get a set of £30 scrubs, because that's all you're going to need when you're first starting.
And that's for the top spot in the Moto Team category. So although the race up front might be settling down, although just as I say that, they're side by side still, Jamie King and James Blackburn, and King's got it back. Jamie King leads the way.
Just a few things you're going to need before you go on a track day, and definitely before you go racing. Some musts: bobbins, handlebars, axles, front and rear, foot pegs, things like that. You're going to need these. Most championships will not let you go on track unless you've got these. You're going to need also catch tray. If the worst does happen and your oil does go everywhere, it needs somewhere to fall into. So catch tray as well. Also lock wire or sun plug. A lot of championships will check this as well in scrutineerings. Not all track days will check these, but it's better to have them than not. It looks more professional as well, and you're not going to turn up at a track looking a bit of a yob. So yeah, handguards also as well. Tracks do care about if you're marking them and scraping your pegs and levers down the track. They do want to look after their tracks, and it's just better for everyone. So make sure you've got all these little bits just to help the tracks out and fellow riders. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my first video, and it's give you a bit of an insight into starting pit biking, doing track days, or maybe even going into championships. My next video is going to be about where you can go ride your pit bike, track days, and even if you're thinking about entering race meetings, the championships you can run around England. Also tell me what videos you want to see. If there's anything specific you need to know about pit biking or where you need to go, I'll happily do a video about it. I'm just going to get some links now about where you can buy pit bikes, brand new, ready-made, if you don't fancy going down the route of building it all up yourself. And I'll do some links also about parts and the upgrades you can get to get you on your way on pit biking. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, PitBikeSonic, and Instagram at Jamie76King. Hopefully see you again guys soon. Cheers for watching, thank you.